Hi there, good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this show. So, we are doing new prog albums tonight, Thursday night. That's what we normally do. It's going to be a late one tonight. As you know, Thursdays are a bit of a difficult day. But, anyways, we're going to do it anyways. I listened to the album earlier and had a few things to do, so now I'm going to upload it. So this is the new Gong album. The new Gong album, Bright Spirit, came out March 13th, 2026, about 44 minutes in length on the K-Scope record label. So appearing for Gong on this album, Fabio Golfetti on guitar, Kavis Torabi on vocals, synthesizers, and guitar, Dave Stewart on bass, Ian East on saxophones, and Cheb Nettles on percussion. So only 7 tracks in total on the album. Very good album. This album has potential to be my favorite album of the year. Quite impressed with 2 or 3 of the longer tracks on the album as well. Overall, pretty strong album, very spacey oriented as you might expect from this band. Lots of odd noises here and there, some percussion stuff, some lots of synthesizers. There's almost an Eastern Asian Indian kind of feel to some of the songs. There's no sitar here, but it's just the use of saxophones and synthesizers gives it that kind of Indian flavor at times. It's not strong, but it's definitely there. I call it like an Eastern flavor to the music. Lots of really good, solid instrumentation. The guitar at times is very mellow and acoustic. At other times, it's kind of heavy, riff-driven electronic guitar. Definitely a lot of strong stuff there. Percussion is good, mostly drums, some other percussion stuff going on as well. Overall, the vocals are decent, a little bit murky, definitely in the low mid-range sound. Not overly clear, nothing outstanding about them, but I like having vocals on an album. If the album didn't have any vocals, I don't think it would be nearly as strong. That's just my own preference. I'm not knocking it. There are some great albums out there that people absolutely adore that have no vocals on them. If you're into that stuff, that's great. I just am not, so that's just how I feel. I may change at times, but even there is at least one instrumental on the album. I think it's the second track. It's quite good despite the lack of vocals on it. So anyways, we're going to get into the songs. There are a total, like I said, of 7. Most of them are fairly lengthy in size. Let me see here. Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 of them over 6 minutes, and then the rest are somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes in length. No bad tracks on here at all. Like mostly it goes from good to great to fantastic. There's no like really weak songs at all here. So the first track up is called Dream of Mine. I think this is probably my favorite track on the album. I think it's the best track. It's also the longest track at about 10.5 minutes in length. The vocals, the song, vocals like a synthesizer sound throughout. Very heavy percussion parts on this track as well. Like I said, this is one of those tracks, has that almost Indian sound to the synthesizer parts throughout it. Guitar sounds take over. Very Eastern sounding as well. Vocals are kind of a mid-range, mystical sounding. There's lots of multi-vocal parts here as well. I don't know if it's just the one guy doing overdubs or they have a couple of people singing here. It doesn't really indicate that. I assume that it's just Tarabi doing all the vocals here. Very catchy sound. Very catchy. Love this song. It's easily drew me in when I first heard it. I had, I've been looking to get the album. It's a little pricey, but I still may go with the adventure and get it anyways. The next track out is called Mantavoul. Mantavoul, I think that's how you might pronounce it. It's a little over 6 minutes, closer to maybe 6.5 minutes in length. It's a very cosmic sounding guitar part with some nice synthesizers at the opening. I like the sax in here. It kind of has filler parts to it, but also very spacey sounding too. They must feed the sax through a synthesizer. You get that impression. It doesn't sound like clear, kind of raspy type sax that you're used to getting. Nice spacey, but a mid-range track basically. It's got a nice catchy lead sax part, very spacey though. It's kind of a weird thing, space and sax going together. I would never thought that was possible, but you do a great job on it here. Nice heavy guitar riff, cutting, very dry, with a nice spacey keyboard part towards the end. No vocals on this song. This is the one song with no vocals. I did like it though, I have to admit. It was really good. Vocals would have just made it better, I think. Wonderment is the next song. This one is a little over 5 minutes in length. Nice keyboard, kind of synthesizer opening, very spacey sounding track. The vocal parts are very mystical at times, but kind of back in the background, not forward at all, but smooth, pretty smooth. I would say this is a bit of a mid-range to low-range kind of vocal sound as well. Next up, actually, you have this very synthesizer-driven, spacey rock sound. That's what this song is. I did like it. Probably the weakest of the tracks so far, but still very strong. Next is Stars in Heaven. This is the shortest, I believe this is the shortest song of the first four easily. It's just over 4 minutes. A more conventional sound to it with some synthesizer sounds going on as well. I think the vocals are very low ebb, clear, not dominant, and at points a little bit voice-like, not really vocally, but more speaky-like, I guess is more narrative-like. That's a better word. More of a low-key track, but high on the synthesizer part. So again, dominated by synthesizers, giving it that kind of spacey sound, which I think this is very strong on this album. This is another good track, though. The back tracks, Fragrance of Paradise. This is probably my second favorite track. Coincidentally, it's also the second longest track, just under 8 minutes. It's got a nice low-end guitar sound with some keyboards and some saxophones going on there. Vocals are kind of mid-range, a bit murky, but not overly so. They get more clear, but a little bit more of a mid-range sound as they go along, not so low-end. It does pick up tempo and some nice catchy percussion and other sounds going on here. The guitar gets heavy and got that Eastern sound again. This is the second track with that. Coincidentally, both the tracks that have that in it are my two favorite tracks on the album. The next song is the shortest song. It's just over 3 minutes. Some nice harmonic sounds here. A nice acoustic guitar part, and some drums in here too. They're actually more noticeable than they are on some of the other tracks. The vocals are quiet, kind of a low end range, a little bit backgroundish, not like totally forward or anything like that. This track does become a little bit more spacey as it moves along, but it's not a really heavy track. One of the weaker tracks, but still well within likable. I like it a lot. And then the final track, which is Eternal Hand, another fairly long track, just under 7 minutes. A kind of a low, slow, kind of melodic drum part with some guitar parts mixed in there. and some synthesizer parts in the background. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting opening. I thought it was pretty good. Vocals are very, yeah, I would call this a little bit more on the Floydish side than some of the other tracks. Definitely doesn't have that Gilmour sound to it or anything, but it's in that range. Some nice acoustic moments throughout this track, pretty strong there. I would call it a mellow track, although it does have its little hard parts or its little more flamboyant parts, might be a better word. It does pick up in the back half, but more percussion and more acoustic stuff at times, a little bit of acoustic moments, maybe it might be a better word. The guitar, the electric guitar has a nice kind of picky, upstart, strong to the point sound to it. This was probably my third favorite track. So there's like 3 tracks that are a little bit lengthy, and I liked all 3 of them quite a bit more than the shorter tracks. I think this band does those longer tracks a lot better too. They come across as catchy, like interesting. It's spacey, but it's not spacey like, say, Floyd or Eloy or Hawkwind. It's not as melodic, I guess, is the best way. It's spacey, but in a kind of a little bit of a different way. But it's really good. The album is really good. This is a band that I like, and I think this album has a ton of promise to be a top 5 album for the year for me. So that's it for tonight. That's my choice for tonight. Gong's Bright Spirit is the name of the album. I hope you've enjoyed this video. So I'm getting a bit dry here. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about Gong in general or about their album Bright Spirit, you can do that as well. And yeah, so I look forward to seeing you all next week for another episode of Prog albums. New Prog albums, sorry. It's a long day today. Anyways, I hope to see you all then. Take care. Have yourself a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.